Hello, this video is about me and being catfished and living almost 6 years of being celibate. Um, People have been asking me a lot about the situation, especially the catfishing situation that happened to me last year. Um, just gonna dive right in. I met a guy who was pretending to be a soldier on Instagram. So on Instagram, he contacted me, and long story short, I fell head over heels for him. He was very handsome, very charming, um, very emotional involved in me wanting to get to know me, and we got to know each other very well. And he had me under the impression that he was stationed in Yemen, and like I said, he was considered what you would call a military scammer. A lot of people online are pretending to be in the military, scamming women out of money. And that's exactly what happened to me. How I found out was we got to the point where we posted on Facebook that we were in a relationship. And the majority of my friends and some other people on Facebook was like looking very suspicious at the situation, and some people even inboxed me and told me like, Tiara, be careful, something about it just does not set right, doesn't seem right. And so as we talked, a lot of the things wasn't making sense anymore. And I'm like, he kept asking me for money. I kept sending him money, and things had just started being unbearable. So I end up Googling the guy that he was pretending to be. And on Google, it showed that he was a military veteran, an Army Ranger, who lived in Chicago. And when he was catfishing me, the catfisher guy, he had me under the impression, he said that he grew up in California and that his family had all died. They had all passed away trying to come to America, and that he was adopted by a priest. So I was like, oh my God, his story was so heartbreaking, and I was so emotionally involved, and I was just there for him emotionally. Throughout our relationship. And like I said, he was physically a handsome man, but I loved his mind. I love his spirit. I love his spirituality. We used to pray, but he had me like I was head over heel in love with him. And after that, I Googled, like I said, and I found out that the real person actually had a verified account. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I looked, saw that the guy, he is a Chicago police officer, and I live in, the Chicago suburbs. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I just couldn't believe it was real. So I messaged him, and I was just telling him, what happened, how I fell in love with him, the fake him or whatever. And it just felt so surreal, because here's a man I'm in love with that does not even know who I am. He don't even know I exist. He probably was like, man, leave me alone. But I just decided to message him because he was an officer, and I just wanted him to alert other women. I didn't know who he was at all. I didn't know his existence until the catfishing situation, and people on Facebook had started telling me, Tiara, you need to look into this guy because he doesn't seem real. And that's exactly what I did, and he wasn't. And to this day, do I have regrets about it? No, I don't have any regrets, because it was an eye-opener for me. I hadn't dated in 15 years. I was with my husband the entire time, well, now my ex-husband. And I just, as time go, a lot of us women, we feel like empty. Like I felt dead. I didn't have any sexual desires. I didn't have any emotional. I thought that I could never love again. So throughout the whole process, it did teach me that I can love again, and that I felt like a woman. I felt alive again. Do I want a relationship in the future? Of course I do. But at first, when you're newly divorced, you just feel like a failure. I felt like I failed God. I didn't feel desirable anymore. I didn't feel loved. Prior to that, I was celibate 3 years in my marriage. And he just made me feel all those emotions again that I never thought I had. I never thought I could love again. And for that, it was an experience. It was something that I learned from and I put behind me. Moving forward, now I am almost 6 years celibate. I'll be 6 years celibate in July, the second week July. And am I having regrets for being celibate? No. It's been a wonderful spiritual journey. I am getting to learn me. I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace just in general. I feel like when you attach yourself or you're intimate with someone, you're taking on whatever demons they have. A lot of people, they call it soul ties. You have a soul tie with that person. I have no soul ties with anyone. I'm a much happier woman. When I was with my husband, I was just not myself. I think having sexual relationship is a very spiritual thing. And I just want to give myself to someone that I could trust, someone that I could build a bond with and have a spiritual relationship, a godly relationship with, a physical relationship, emotional, mentally. I just think it all connects. Some people are genuinely empty or soulless inside. And when you start mixing your spirit with that energy, it takes your energy. Since I have not been sexually active, I have been meditating more and just getting to learn myself more, working on myself. As I mentioned before in my other post, I'm headed to get me a mommy makeover. And I have just worked on myself spiritually. I've read the Bible. I read the Bible almost at its entirety. And it just helps you to be more disciplined and have morals. That's what I like about myself, where I'm at in my journey now. I'm a disciplined woman. I have morals, and I know my values. I know I could be a value to any man, just off my character, who I am as a woman. And I say that to say this: I have been getting a ton of DMs, especially on Facebook and TikTok. I just want to say that I will not be responding to any of them due to me being catfished in the past. I do not ever want to experience that again, to fall in love with someone who isn't real. I mean, the guy is real, he exists, but he doesn't know me, the real guy, like a scammer or someone pretending to be someone. I don't ever want to experience that. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. As I mentioned, I do get a lot of men that are interested in wanting to know me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you for thinking that I'm beautiful or thinking that I'm attractive or wanting to get to know me. But I'm just at a point now where I am not interested at all in meeting, finding, or talking with a man on social media. I don't trust the process. I don't trust it at all. And I just wanted to say that if you're DMing me, I probably more than likely will not respond unless your account is verified. Again, thank you for thinking I'm beautiful. Thank you for all the DMs. Thank you for all the messages and the prayers. Bye-bye. Oh, I did hit pause. Okay. Sorry. Oh, yeah, someone wanted to know how I look. This is me at 154.